How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Zach Hicks, your resident film nerd of HorseshoeHuddle.com, and of course, your favorite co-host over there at the Locked on Colts podcast. I'm back with yet another video for you guys, and this is going to be sort of an experimental video here. I want to play a little bit with some annotations on a video, and I didn't want to make my big video of the week that I do on Tuesdays be kind of my play around videos. So this is a bit of an extra video you guys are getting, and for this extra video, I want to dive into one of my favorite players on the Colts, and that is big number 16, Ashton Dulin, and how the Colts have used him so far to start the season. So we're going to talk about a couple ways they've used him as a run blocker, how they've used him as a pass catcher, as a ball carrier this season. Some really fun stuff that the Colts have done with Ashton Dulin to start this season. And let's just dive into the clips right away to start off. These first couple clips actually come against the Denver Broncos, where the Colts relied on Dulin as a run blocker. And interestingly enough, they used him as like this insert blocker on Pat Surtain crashing down in the run game. So Pat Surtain is a very aggressive run defending outside corner for the Denver Broncos, the best cornerback in the game. And the Colts really wanted to isolate him and just neutralize him in this running game. So what they did is they knew that Pat Surtain likes to fit when you motion a guy away from his side. So when he's just going to be over top of the tight end, they like to bring Surtain down to aggressively fit against the run. So they know that he's going to be coming hard off the edge here once Michael Pittman Jr. motions across the formation. So what the Colts did is they used Ashton Dulin as kind of this insert blocker. So Dulin would come across the formation, take out Surtain, and that opens up everything else for everybody else to get to where they need to be. These guys are going to climb. We're going to get climbing. We're going to get blocking there. And that's how the whole overall blocking system is going to work here. So as Surtain tries to fit hard against the outside, and if this was left unblocked, Surtain would come across the line and take out Jonathan Taylor in the backfield for a loss. This gives Taylor the space he needs to make that decision, get up the field, and do what he does best. So we're going to see this pretty productive run here from the Colts now with Pat Surtain neutralized. So again, watch Pat Surtain trying to fit off the backside now with Michael Pittman Jr. motioning out. We're going to have Dulin coming across, essentially being like a split zone action. Instead of split zoning against the backside defensive end, he's actually going to just be peeling off against that cornerback that's supposed to be filling. Does a great job opening that space and getting the productive run for the Colts offense. Different play, but similar type of, I guess, aspect here that we're doing. So we're going to have Dulin coming across the formation yet again. Pat Surtain's going to try to fit in here, and Dulin's going to come over here, and he's going to insert in between that C gap there. And his goal is to take out Surtain here. It is kind of a weird fit because number 40 does a great job of reading the play and crashing into that gap. And Quentin Nelson, who's trying to climb to the second level, is supposed to be taking out that linebacker, but linebacker does a great job of fitting. Taylor then reroutes and comes inside, which you guys will see when the play actually runs here. But again, they're using Dulin not really like a receiver. This is kind of like a pseudo tight end type of role because, again, his whole goal here is to fit inside on the motion and take out Surtain, who's going to be fitting hard against the run. So we're going to run this in full speed yet again. And again, we're going to get that motion. Surtain coming down to fit. Surtain is going to come in, and because this linebacker comes in here, it kind of muddies exactly what the run play is, so Taylor has to break off into the backside, but Ashton Dulin was going to be that insert blocker against Pat Surtain. Really interesting stuff to throw against the Denver Broncos. Both these runs were very, very effective for the Colts, so it was kind of one of their change-ups, but Ashton Dulin, again, kind of being the pseudo tight end wide receiver for the Colts on these plays, getting out there and blocking Surtain in the open field because the Colts trust him as that kind of run blocking wide receiver. Getting to our next clip here, we are going to get Dulin yet again in motion pre-snap. So he's going to come in motion and get into this sniffer tight end role. So again, kind of like a pseudo tight end wide receiver coming in here, getting off behind the left tackle in that sniffer role. And what we're going to have here is a split zone split zone read option, for the Colts. So what they're going to do is they're going to run inside zone here. So all these guys are blocking like it's inside zone, inside zone, inside zone. and Dulin's going to come across the formation selling that he's doing a split zone blocking. So they're going to leave this man unblocked, and this guy is going to lean on Dulin because he's thinking, oh, this is the split zone block on the backside, and they're just running a split zone run to the inside. So what they're actually doing here is a read option run. So again, while Taylor is selling that he's getting the ball here, Jones is going to have it, and he's going to eye this defender who is left unblocked coming up the field. If this defender leans on Dulin or crashes down inside, we're going to have Jones keep it to the outside and follow his blocker who is selling that he is blocking, and then he's going to get out in space in front. So let me delete all this because I have a lot of drawings here in your way. But yeah, we're going to have Dulin coming here selling that split zone action, and then he's going to come out and jump in front and block the safety or the nickel corner coming down. I think it's going to end up being this guy right here, the safety coming down, and Jones is going to have just that entourage in front of him that is going to block if he ends up taking this ball, which he does on this play. So when we run it in full speed, you will see exactly what I'm talking about, where again, we have that inside zone blocking on the read option. Dulin sells like he's split zone, and that's exactly what this defensive end thinks is happening. He thinks a split zone block is coming. He's trying to get tight as he can on this and pinch this play, but instead, Daniel Jones pulls it. Dulin gets out in front, blocks the strong safety. Jones probably should have cut up a little bit sooner, but overall a good productive play for the Colts offense with Dulin leading the way as a blocker. And again, when we get to this next clip here, we're going to see Ashton Dulin being used as a blocker, and this time he's not even going to be in motion. Again, he's kind of like their pseudo tight end wide receiver because they trust him as a blocker so much. So instead of having him split zone, instead of having him lead the way here, he's just going to come out and block on the edge. It doesn't actually end up being this defensive end here. He's actually going to chip block and then get to the outside there. But we're going to get blocks, zone blocks, zone blocks, zone blocks down. And this is just going to be a typical zone and running play. And Dulin, again, is kind of being used as like a sniffer tight end here out in space that leads the way for the running back. So when they do this stretch run, Dulin is one of the guys in front of the play, and it leads to a productive carry for the Colts against the Miami Dolphins. We are going to run it here in full speed, and you're going to see exactly Dulin. He kind of slips on the play, but he's supposed to chip and help continue that block there. And then get to that second level. He gets on his filling defensive back. Taylor cuts up the field for a nice 7-yard gain on the play. So Ashton Dulin is a player they really trust, obviously, in the running game to carry the football. But when you do all this motion with him, when you utilize him as a run blocker and a guy who can get out in front or seal the backside or insert against defensive backs, it opens up stuff like this, which is obviously giving him the football. So again, if you're going to use this guy so much in motion when he comes on the field and use him as a blocker, they're not going to expect him to just carry the football, get to the outside, and you can even leave this defensive end unblocked to get up the field because he's going to be hesitating, expecting some kind of chip block to the backside, or he's going to want to fill against the running back, which leaves all the space in the world for Dulin to carry this football, get to the outside, and nearly get a touchdown on the play. So we see on this one, they leave these two defenders unblocked. Dulin gets up the sideline and comes up just short of scoring the touchdown there. And then we got the same thing this past weekend against the Los Angeles Rams. They motion him like they usually do, get him out in space. They leave Jared Verse unblocked up the field, but doesn't matter because Dulin's able to win to the outside. And he's nearly able to score yet again. This is actually becoming one of their more productive, I don't want to say high red zone plays, but like mid red zone plays to get into that low red. The Colts have scored on both times when he's gotten them down within the 5-yard line from this angle. So Dulin kind of doing the little things for this Colts offense. And I wanted to include his one catch of the year as well. He just had his first catch of the season this past weekend. And this doesn't really go with what they've been doing. I still think there is potential to draw up some potential pass plays off of these insert blocks he's doing and off of these other things he's doing. But this is just a nice little RPO. He's going to break outside. And Daniel Jones is reading the leverage of this outside corner right here. So what he's doing is just reading exactly what that leverage of that corner is. If that corner's first step is back or the first step is just staying stagnant, then Jones is going to get that ball to Dulin on this outbreaker on 3rd and 3. They trust Dulin to make plays like this. He's done it his whole career. And what we see is a nice, easy pitch and catch between the quarterback and wide receiver on a pretty pivotal 3rd and 3 late in this game. So yeah, Ashton Dulin is just a vital piece of everything the Colts want to do, from run blocking, which we're going to see again right here, all the run blocking clips, just a vital piece of that. When they bring him in the game, they trust him on these seal blocks, on these insert blocks, on just blocking in space like a tight end when asked as well. They trust him there. And then when you get to just give him the ball, I mean, he's got the kick returner experience. He's got the experience handling the ball in the past. They love giving him the ball in space because it creates big opportunities for the offense. And then they can even throw him the ball. We've seen him be productive throwing the ball. So Ashton Dulin, we call him Do-It-All Dulin here in Indy because he's just a guy who does everything for the team. One of the best gunners in football, a really good productive kick returner, can block his butt off, and he can also handle the ball in offense from rushing and pass catching. Ashton Dulin's been a very, very productive player for the Colts this year, even if the stat sheet doesn't show it. And I think if Alec Pierce misses another week, he should be in line for a much bigger role this next week. So Ashton Dulin, I just really wanted to give him his credit because he has been a very productive and good player for the Colts for a long time. And he's a guy that every single team would want, and the Colts are lucky to have.